Oh, great. This video is finally recording. Finally, and has sound. All right, everybody. So today I wanted to talk about my natural hair journey and living in the South. I'm from a state called Texas, and I will say that my experiences have been fair and have been good. The only probably attacks that I've had being a natural haired woman was within my own family. Mostly the women had very bad stereotypes about me being natural. And black friends that have very bad stereotypes in the South about being natural. And I have actually, it took me like 4 times, I would say in my experience, it took me about 4 times to go natural before I could finally go natural because my grandmother kept trying to put a relaxer in my hair at the ages of 16 and 17 and 18 because I was trying to transition. And she did it, and I couldn't do anything about it until I finally got like 20, 21, and I told her I didn't want her doing my hair anymore. And I kept cutting all my hair off. And she finally gave in to the idea of me wanting to go natural and letting me do what I want to do. And she had a few bad remarks about it until I showed her videos of other black women who were beautiful, who had natural hair, and who didn't look bad, had very long hair, far longer than what I have ever had with a relaxer. And their hair and their bodies were very healthy. And I was like sick, and she wanted to see me get better. And so for the only solution for this was to allow me to be myself and to be free. I will say like this, I have like avoided a lot of racism. I will probably say this because of the fact that I am also like a very spiritual person. I'm into metaphysical studies, and I am into my meditation, and I'm very deep into prayer. And like, I will tell you that I have had wonderful, great experiences from keeping a pure, consistent lifestyle. My influence, of course, came from Christianity. I am a Christian. I believe both in Jesus Christ. And metaphysical teachers and also metaphysical believers will tell you that Jesus Christ, they feel, is an ascended master. That they feel like Jesus Christ was a reincarnation, that he came to earth and he was a higher being on another plane. He came to earth and he chose to come to this planet to save the human race and heal the human race in his own form. Okay, and that there were other masters just like him in other religions that have done the same thing. Now, this is true. There's Buddha, and then there's Muhammad that people feel is a religious believer, and other things like that. But I will explain that later. That's another story in another video and some other place. But I am a Christian believer, of course. That's where my influence came from. And I changed my lifestyle because of course, being under like social rejection caused a lot of it. People wanted to, kind of see me health wise, and wanted to kind of be around me, more fit like them. But I did not have like any racial attacks or any nasty remarks. I had one nasty remark from one white Jewish lady who I was friends with, okay, who told me that my braids in my hair looked like shit. And I wanted to know what the heck I was wearing in my head. I had some Havana twists done in my hair. And she didn't like my hair at all. She said that it looked bad. It was the first comment that came out of her mouth. She didn't say anything good. She was like, what the hell? Okay, and I didn't say anything bad to her. I didn't give her a nasty remark. I just told her that was my culture and that's how I wanted to do with my hair. And then I slowly backed off from her. She got a different provider, and I called Adult Protective Services on her and got her a different provider because I didn't want to be her caregiver anymore because she was being rude to me and she says obnoxious things. So anyway, she was like the only person that I really had to do that to me. It was one person, just one. But everyone else that I went to church with was very complimentary about my hair and my features, and was very kind to me. Most of the churches, like the town that I live in, is a majority white community. It's very small number of blacks that live in my town. And the church that I went to was called the Light and the First Baptist Church of Willis. The city was called Willis, and then another church that I went to that I don't remember the name of, but a friend invited me to that church. It was called Christ Church, but the people in those churches were very nice. I mostly was guided to a specific group. I first went into the churches. I was mostly around elderly people. I was not around youth at all. I was mostly around older, very older people who invited me to go to church with them because, well, I would not go to church on my own. Just number one being the fact that I did not dare want to be in a black church, and I really didn't want to go to the white churches. I only went to them because I was invited. And so that's still like the case now. I more practice and study everything at home, type of mentality. And my life is improving like very well. Of course, saying as a black person and discovering, bad health and things that I could change, of course, it took social rejection to also make me that way because a lot of things that I was not conscious and aware of that I had to discover and like learn on my own to change and want to do. And I will say that it was not an easy experience. I found out, of course, white Christians don't believe the same as the way black Christians do. They practice completely different. And the churches that I was mostly influenced by were white churches because my community was majority white. And it did not mean that I had all white friends. It didn't mean that I was better than anybody else. It didn't mean that I thought I was on a higher pedestal or something like that because I hung around white people. No, they were the same way with me. They knew that I was a black girl, especially the fact that I wore my afro and I wore my natural hair. I was definitely black. Of course, I didn't get any mean, rude comments. I got compliments from people who cared about me and that were kind to me and accepted me in their church. I went places with these people, invited to their houses, did painting sessions with them, sewing sessions, and things like that. And they were like very nice to me. They never said anything bad about my race or creed at all. The only negative things that I've been mostly attacked by were within my own family of women that are very particular and very self-negative towards themselves. And that's like the most difficult problem that I've seen with discrimination was within my own cultural grounds. I have had a very complex time making black friends because of the fact that they are very wild here, especially in the South. Black people from southern parts of, especially deep South and mostly the South, are completely different than blacks that are from northern parts of the world. They're actually different. It's like a polarity, some type of polar magnetic shift or something that makes people's brains think or reroute the certain ways when they're living in certain areas. I have no idea, but I will say this. It was absolutely crazy. I mean, most of the black girls that are in my town, okay, or live without in my town that I have met or known, very wild. And that's how they acted. I have not come across any nice ones, except for one girl that I met on the internet, and she is black, and she has a boyfriend, but I don't think she's from the South at all, and she does not live in my town. She's someone I know over the computer. But mostly the black girls down here, they're not very consciously aware of the natural hair movement. I've seen some that have natural hair, but we're like the 60s type, 70s type hair wearers. We don't like, I'm not saying it's a thing. I'm not saying it's a side. I'm not. Because even like with myself, like I want to wait until my hair grows out like long enough before I can like style it in curls and stuff. But it's like, the ones that I've seen are natural. They're like very plain. They're very plain about it. And they don't wear no makeup with it. They don't do nothing with it. They're just very plain. And they have jobs and things, and they wear their hair. And white people like don't say rude or mean things to them at all. They're just very plain, and their personalities are like very dull. I've come across, of course, a few. One natural hair lady that I met in an elevator, and she was her hair was like done in a style, and I asked her how she did her hair, and she said that she does it with a styling gel, and it made her hair pattern like very curly. But like me, I'm still like learning like so many things about how to style hair and do like different stuff with it. So um, it's like a learning experience for me, as well as, the criticism I've taken from my own family, cutting my hair off like 4 times, and cutting my hair a total of about 5 times to really threaten my family that I wanted to go natural and I didn't care what they thought, and their opinions could go out the window. All right, and I was not gonna be that type of girl. I did not like having lace weave in my hair. I have a picture of me having a lace weave in my hair that I didn't like when I had to go to high school, and my mom, of course, obligated me to do it. And she paid the money for it because she wanted me to look good for a picture. And I had, of course, the black women mostly complimented in my family, and even women I didn't know mostly complimented that picture of me than they've ever complimented any other profile picture of me. They complimented the picture of me where I had the long lace weave hair that was glued to my scalp. They will compliment that picture, and in other pictures of me where I was natural, they really compliment them. I didn't care because I didn't post the picture. My mom posted the picture on my profile, and I felt like I could give care less. Someone else owned the picture of me, and it was an old picture I could care less about. Um, but my grandmother, she's like still this Jim Crow mindset. Um, she does not like my hair natural. I've showed her pictures. I've showed her videos. She's like, "Oh, it's something. Well, you want to do it? Well, I can't wait, and I can't wait to straighten your hair." Is every comment that I get from her. Is your hair done? Did you do your hair? You're gonna go out like that. So when are you going to your job interview? You went to your job interview like that? Those type of mean comments. Um, you know what, Bianca? If you want to get in shape, you need to bleach your skin. You need to thin out, and you need to straighten your hair. And you don't have to straighten your nose. All right? And I was like, what the heck? Come on, are you serious? Are you serious? One point I almost cried. But I was like, you just gotta take stuff with a grain of salt. People, you gotta be the strong one here. People can't force you to do something against yourself that you don't want to do. And I started realizing that, and I started noticing that I could grow my hair long. I could grow out my afro hair, and it was my body. I chose what I wanted to do with it. Of course, my grandmother still controls things like wanting to do my hair and braid my hair, and that many times I tell her like, no, I don't feel like getting my hair done this month, or things like that, just to back her off a little, trying to have some type of self control there, where everybody's not always telling you what to do. Of course, I always have elderly people in my community telling me like how to live my life and telling me like what to do and stuff. I'm okay with it, You gotta listen to the adults, all right. But yeah, I haven't had like any really rude compliments from whites. Of course, I have prayed, to God, and I prayed to my angels that protect over me, to guard me and to protect me every day that I go out. And I show appreciation prayers as well. I spend about sometimes 30 minutes praying to a full hour. And then I spend time after that in meditation. And I'm doing this every single night before I go to bed. And I started noticing that great, wonderful things started opening up doors for me. And that job opportunities open. This apartment opened up for me. My furniture opened up, of course. And just better things and newer things started coming to me when I started purifying my lifestyle and started changing and transitioning where I believed. What ended up happening was I wanted to make I actually wanted to be a Christian and actually follow by the Bible because I was a black Christian in the black gospel. Black Christians in the South don't do that very much. I noticed that my family was eating nothing but pork. My grandmother, my step grandfather was eating nothing but pork, and they like pork foods, the meats, the red meats, and he started getting sicker. And she has, heart problems, health problems, and I was having health problems, and I wanted to switch away because I wasn't truly following by my religion. Um, and of course, in the Bible, it said to only eat fish and pure foods. And then I found out doing my research that the fish was toxic. The fish contained mercury. Well, eating fish in the Bible didn't compare to the same way in Jesus' time is completely different than what it compares to now. So living back in Jesus' time, the fish were pure. There is no such thing as waste in the ocean, oil spills, and it was not considered a meat. It was considered a vegan meat, a vegetarian meat, a pure meat, because the oceans were clean. Now today we have waste spills, we have oil spills, and the fish contain nothing but mercury and toxic death. So you eat fish for a female, you're killing yourself, and just about the same as you would if you eat pork. Didn't know that. I discovered that yesterday because I'm always praying for guidance and protection and to be assisted with my knowledge and learning new things, right? And this stuff opened up to me. Why? I noticed that I went into the store. I'll explain this experience. I went into the store and I spent $12 on a small thing of salmon. Okay, now I didn't know that, it could have been a higher power telling me not to buy the salmon because it was expensive. I wanted to get the salmon because I felt like I needed it. And then I bought some more salmon after that and then some tilapia because I was going to eat that with my vegetables. And found out doing research, well, that was a slick way of being vegetarian and being vegan, that you had to go fully raw. Didn't know that, and that I was slowly transitioning out. The more I started discovering new things. So I went and bought all this salmon. Next thing I know, about a week later, eating it, I discovered this video called from Freely the Banana Girl. And she made a little small documentary about how fish in the oceans, and she used some news research about how the fish in the oceans were toxic, and that the fish contained mercury, and that it was passed by the FDA, things like this. And I was like, oh my God, I can't even eat fish now. There's no escape on this planet. Humans, what have you done? Okay, and I'm having to, this is going to be like my last month on salmon. I have to completely transition away from salmon now because it's toxic. And just it being in the ocean, it's toxic. You can't clean it. It absorbed what it absorbed, and then they use a carbon monoxide that they spray on the fish and the meat, the red meat, to keep the meat red looking, because when you actually get salmon and fish out the ocean and you kill the meat from an animal, the meat turns brown and gray. That's the real color it's supposed to turn. I didn't know that till I researched it, and now I'm having to fight to get off meats now. I love beef, ribs. I love beef. And they don't sell beef down here anywhere, okay? And it's very expensive to buy when you get it. And none of the barbecue restaurants here down here in the South, they do not sell you beef. They only sell you pork. And I thought that was wrong. And I don't want to even, and will not dare to even eat pork, because it has killed and it has destroyed most of my family, and it almost nearly destroyed me, and I was not aware of that. And I understand now why Muslims don't eat pork, because it's very toxic. Okay, you shouldn't eat fish and salmon neither. That's toxic too. Also explaining, going back to what I was saying, my natural hair journey. I do. I have had great experiences down here because of the way that I believe, me spiritually. I'm not very much into secular culture at all, to the point where I'm almost very spiritually practiced and wanting to train myself to be disciplined. And I'll say that because it has opened up many doors for me. I mean, like cleaning and fasting and like cleansing yourself. Only eating pure and I got 2 job opportunities open up in one day, 2 interviews in 2 days, and now I'm just waiting to get hired, and a job that's gonna pay like 2 to 3 grand a month. Okay, 2 to 3, 2,300, 3,500. To anyway, yeah. And that was for adult protective services. But I got the job that I wanted at a daycare. And the people there are very nice. Of course, like I'm a minority. Like I'm the only black woman that works in the entire place. And the only person that's black in there is this biracial little kid. But they were nice, very nice people. They really liked me. I did not think it would, end up the way it did. And I went in there just like this. I went in there with an afro just like this. And nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay. Everything was great. People were smiling at me. People were kind to me. And they talked to me about everything that I could do and all of the different decisions and stuff. And with how the daycare works and stuff like that. They told me my dress code and how much I was going to get paid. And it was good. I was like, I'm transitioning up. Okay, and I was saying that black people who live bad lifestyles and why you're going through the discrimination and why you're going through the impurities that you're going through, check the way your lifestyle is, because I did, and I'm telling you that I'm transitioning out. Okay, my life is dramatically changing. All right, it's like the reality I live in. Okay, is slowly transitioning to the way that I want it to be, because the way that I am so very involved into my prayer, meditation, and those are 2 things that I practice. I'm thanking God and showing appreciation. I do appreciation prayers both to my guardian angels, the archangels, and God, Jesus, or whoever you pray to. You have people of different religions. I'm sorry, Christians, if you can't accept the fact that other people got different religions than you, and they're not going to believe the same thing. I'm sorry if this offends you if I say this. I also pray to Mary. I'm not Catholic, but I was raised with Christian background and Christian influence. I was with Christianity first before I ever discovered Catholicism. Of course, there are a lot of bad things that are said about the Pope and what the Catholics did to Christians, and most it did to themselves. They killed a lot of people and stuff, and mostly negative parts about them. But I'm a very practicing person. Okay, I am very serious about the stuff that I do, and I'll tell you that I have had things open up to me. Okay, like my prayers are answered. Okay, showing appreciation, meditation, and being and eating pure. Changing my lifestyle has changed dramatically. I've not got attacked by one police officer, and I'll tell you, I drive crazy in this town. Like, I drive retarded. Okay, like, I got in almost 2 car wrecks yesterday and did not get stopped by a cop. Alright, and got into like 4 accidents in 1 year and didn't get stopped by a cop. A cop didn't even give me a ticket. And I'm telling you, this stuff is very real, that black people's problem is that they are illusional. They want to believe in secular culture, and they don't want to put the higher power first. Okay, the real power that it needs to be running this planet, because we got dark forces, okay, that are in war for human souls. Okay, you ever heard of selling your soul to the devil? It's very real. Okay, people actually sell their souls and abort to sacrifice their children to demons. Okay, all these things are like very practiced, and they're very real. And we have dark forces and dark energies controlling our planet, and they want to make sure that people stay asleep. Black people are like the largest of one of those people, along with the Arabs and the Jews, okay, and everybody else, okay, that are just plain toxic and their lifestyles are toxic. The way that they choose to believe is incorrect and invalid. And like, I will say this, I will tell you one experience that I had. I already explained the job part, but I'm explaining this part. I was in my car, and this is for Christians and for everybody else who believes in God. And I just simply said one short prayer. I had no money. I was hungry. I barely had any food at my apartment. And I said like one prayer. I just said, God, please, help me with, with groceries, that I need food and that I'm hungry. And I went into the store and I just started buying food. Pizza, food, what you could think of that was food. Okay? Just want to get something to eat in my belly. I wasn't thinking about my health then. That transitioning and eating pure was important. But I got an answer. My prayer was answered. And I was in line. I scanned my card into the machine. I self-checked my groceries out. And I had no money on my card. My card was declined. And I got on the phone, was talking to a banker that I wanted to overdraft my account about almost 180 to about $200. That's what the grocery amount led up to. A lady came in the store, and I was in line having problems paying my groceries. And it was a white lady, and she had blonde hair, and she was average height, and she was like a nice size and weight, and well dressed, and she just came up and paid for all my groceries, just like that. And I was like, wow, thank you so much. I bursted out in tears. I was like, thank you so much. I did not know where I could be without you. I wanted to help her. I wanted to give her my name. Like, I just wanted to be a part of her life or get to know her as a friend. She's like, it was nice to, help someone, every once in a while. And that could have been an actual angel that could have appeared and helped me with my groceries and could have left. And I would have not known it at all. And like I'm saying, these things are very real. We have the wrong order on our planet controlling our world. And they want to make sure that humans forget. Humans stay a delusion and they stay oppressed. They are setting us up for the worst trouble. Secular culture is not the answer. Okay? Rap music, rock and roll music is not the answer. The answer is getting into prayer, setting a focus for yourself, okay? Setting a concentration on yourself and seeing reality for like what it really is. Even myself, like right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm still learning how to do that. There are mistakes that I have made even with myself, with the things that I have eaten, with the things that I've listened to, with the way that I practice my life, and I'm slowly improving because I am slowly like transitioning out. You're not going to go extreme. You're just not going to take all your 60s and 70s records and break them in half and say, well, I'm just going to start going spiritual and do the right thing and want to change my life. No. It's a slow transitioning process that takes time for you to do. The lifestyle from eating, the way that you eat, the things you intake in your body, to the things that you listen to, the music, and just the things you read and watch. It's all important. It's all play a big aspect on your spiritual reality. And the demonic occults that run this planet, I'll tell you about them. They know these things. This is why they mask our music. They take subliminal messaging and they program it in our music, and they put in nasty messages in them in reverse, and then you listen to them and you feel nasty in certain ways, and you want to do stuff that you would not normally do, and you want to believe a certain way subliminally that you didn't know you thought you could be and do, and it's because of your music and the things you're intaking in your body. A song promotes cigarettes that are a model on a perfume commercial is smoking a cigarette, and she's skinny, and you think that the cigarette is keeping her skinny, and you go smoke a cigarette, and you think that the cigarette is going to make you look like the model, or that you compare your weight and the self of looking up to her and that you are her, and find out that you're nothing like her. You don't have anything to associate with her. She's on high drugs to look her weight, and she does things to stay in her weight, and that the cigarette is fake and that she's not really smoking it at all. It's just an advertisement. So all I'm saying is just that our communities like really need to question the things that they have really taken sides with, that have gone against themselves, the cultures we've taken sides with that have gone against ourselves. Like the music we listen to, okay, that is ran nothing but by demonic occult in Hollywood, and they don't care. Okay, they infiltrate, and their desire to infiltrate everything. Okay, look what happened to Whitney Houston and Bobby Christina. Okay, they just simply went to Hollywood to sign a record deal with Sony Productions and other production companies, okay, that they were with. Innocent, young, beautiful women. And they ended up being slowly drained. The essence of their life was slowly drained out of them. And it happened, everything happened in stages. It's like I told you, transitioning happened in stages. Well, this is exactly what happened. Their life slowly was taken from them. And then the next thing you know, they're dead. They're not worth anything. Whitney Houston went from a model to not doing what her industry told her they wanted her to do, to being abused, to being slowly drained by different men who were the same culture and creed as her, and who drained and used her and took advantage of her because they were corrupt. They were devil worshippers and evil things, and they took advantage of her and used her until she was nothing, and then she eventually died. They drained the innocence and life out of her. Okay, and this is what happens to people that go in and they end up coming out. This is why I promote natural living and I promote pure lifestyle, because you have to watch every step you take and the things that you're taking sides with and the things you're listening to and become. And the people who control over the natural hair movement, okay, you have some very, I'm not going to say what they are, but I'm going to say that some very powerful people controlling over the natural hair movement. The natural hair movement is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's controlled by some very powerful people. Don't think that cultists are not involved in the hair transitioning and the influence of how black women see themselves and how black men and black women see themselves in general, that we are not, okay, that we're not been watched, because we are very been watched. Our consciousness, as we change our hair and wanting to change our living and our lifestyle, is going to transition and upgrade and change our life. And it's going to shift us. It's going to shift our consciousness, and it's going to slowly shift our being as an existence. Okay? And they're watching all this, and they want to control it. They want you to be natural. They want you to transition, but they want to pull you back in after you transition. Just like Nicki Minaj. They wanted to see her, she's going to transition because she's fighting to, but they sued her because they were afraid that they couldn't pull her back in, that they couldn't take her, and they're trying to take her, which they've already done because she sold her soul to be a musician in the first place. But they don't want her representing anything. And if they represent her, guess what they have to do? They have to control it, like Curly Nikki. The Curly Nikki website, like I explained, how the Jewish, corporate Jewish influence has come in, and they want to control the line of, they want to distribute and also put in their idea of what they want the hair industry to be also for them as well. They're trying to put their face into it as well. That's what the white Afro thing is about, because the black hair industry by itself is multi-billion dollar. Okay, they're talking about some aristocrats. All right, high class cats here, very bad cats that they don't want to lose their money, and they're with whatever the game is. They're with whatever the game is going to be, and they're going to be this way. If black women go natural, that's fine. Let's change the market. Let's change the way that we sell our products. If black women want natural, that's fine. Give it to them. We charge them $40 to $50 for a shampoo, for a bottle of conditioner. They'll buy it. That's more money for us. More money for the cats that don't, that make those billions and don't support the black community, that will never build a school for you and never support your homes or your car, or give you a scholarship to go to college, or give you a grant to visit a holistic doctor and really tell you how to improve and cure your health. They'll never tell you these things. Okay, but they will rightfully sell to your communities, and they will rightfully distribute to you and try to sell to you and make you want to buy from them. And they will keep up with the demand of you, and they will put your face on the front cover of a magazine that you will never own, that you don't control, that you have no influence and no point of view over. This is the so-called movement, natural hair movement that we have, that black girls need to be aware about, and why shit has not changed, okay, and why we're still in our oppression and we're still having a hard time. Your cats are now into this industry, okay? Your aristocrats are now into this industry, okay? Your very large entrepreneurs, these bad cats, they're here. I'm talking about the bad ones. And they put on a nice smile and they sell Hype magazine, okay? Essence magazine, Ebony magazine, Jet magazine, okay? All these magazines, okay? Black Hair magazine, uh, Oprah magazine, all controlled by these elite aristocrats, right? These very bad cats that want to have their influence and want to have their say so. You don't have your say so, okay? And I just want to point this out. This is a 35-minute video. A person has the right to feel and think they feel and believe and think how they want to feel, okay? But it will cost you. It does. It causes you to choose the way you want to believe, because you need to be aware of your environment. You need to be aware of the illusions that are around you. That black people are still a spiritual force that is in a spiritual war. White people too. Their souls are being taken too. I will rightfully say that they're deeply involved too. Okay, that if they go off and stuff happens to them, they're gonna take it out on us, because that's what our history is here. And that, like, you warn one group, you gotta warn everybody. And that's exactly what I'm for in this video. I just wanted to explain my natural hair experiences and my life in the South, and my experiences most of all has been a Southerner, and just my life in general. And I'll keep updating, on my videos and stuff like that. But I will say take care to you, and thank you for being a subscriber and for watching my videos, at least giving me views, and for leaving your comments and your opinions in the comment section if you do. Take care.